Anthony Joshua versus Robert Helenius. The prediction, and knuckleheads, we've got the prediction fez on, so you know we got to be on point with this one. That being said, and in all seriousness, this is not the fight we wanted. It's not the fight we expected. This is a late notice fight for Anthony Joshua, and typically these can be a bit of a slippery slope, a bit of a banana peel, if you will, for a fighter, right? When all of a sudden they're faced with a change of opponent, and in this case, it's especially a different style of opponent. That being said, I just can't see any way that this fight is more difficult than a fight against Dillian Whyte. In fact, I think that Dillian Whyte was a crazy dangerous fight for Anthony Joshua to accept ahead of a big money fight in December that's supposed to happen against Deontay Wilder. So I feel like this is the universe kind of telling Anthony Joshua, pump the brakes, young man. We're going to give you something a little bit easy. We're going to give you the appetizer before you get to the entree, which is that big right hand, Deontay Wilder, in December. So that's what this is. This is a gift, if you ask me. And that's not to say that Robert Helenius is a horrible fighter. He's not. I think at his peak, he was probably a respectable B-level heavyweight. But I think at this point, with the wear and tear, with his age, with everything else, he's probably C-level. And I don't think that that's going to be good enough to get the job done against Anthony Joshua. I'm not saying he can't have some success. Heck, I'm not saying there's absolutely no chance he can win this fight, but it's a very, very small, slim chance. And especially coming off that brutal knockout loss against Deontay Wilder, he's probably just going to be an even more deteriorated form of himself. His biggest wins lately, and we're talking about Robert Helenius, were those wins over Kownacki, who was already kind of on the backslide, since that Areola fight. So, it's a bit of a feather in the cap to beat Kownacki, but not really, because as we've seen, he's also continued to deteriorate. Look, Anthony Joshua is pumped. He wants to get that Wilder fight. I'm sure he wants to get the taste of those losses against Usyk out of his mouth, and I think he's going to go in there tomorrow, and I think he's going to bang this poor Robert Helenius out of there. But at the very least, I will say this is the good news for Robert Helenius. He's probably going to get a nice fat payday for stepping up late notice against Anthony Joshua, despite the fact that my prediction is he gets finished in this fight in brutal fashion, setting up an incredible fight for Deontay Wilder. The other thing I want to say is Dillian Whyte, man. What an absolute heartbreak. That's the fight that was supposed to happen. That's the fight I wish would have happened. If you guys know, I'm a huge Dillian Whyte fan. The guy's always down to fight anyone, anytime, anywhere. His story is super interesting. He's always the underdog. And I do feel like he had a much better chance than Helenius, a real shot at beating Anthony Joshua. Because all he's got to do is land one big punch, Dillian Whyte, and he can get anyone out of there. But, it looks like he had some sort of adverse result from whatever the commission was or the athletic body was that was, checking him for drugs or performance enhancing, whatever it was. And so, I guess we're going to have to wait and find out what actually happened there. For me, you're innocent until proven guilty. I'd like to hear what happened there. But it's a real shame that we're not getting Dillian Whyte versus Anthony Joshua, because I think that was a huge shot at redemption for Dillian Whyte. That said, again, my prediction, Anthony Joshua by knockout. Tell me what you think. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, join the channel, like this video, and comment below. Let me know what you think below. Don't forget also to get your tickets to FightersRep 19 at FightersRep.com. It's going to be the best fight card we've ever put together. We're sitting at 18 fights now. Of course, the card's subject to change, but you don't want to miss it. And if you can't make it live, you can watch right here on YouTube by joining the channel, and you can cancel anytime. I look forward to hearing from you guys on this one, but I think it's a shoo-in. Even though there's no such thing, I think it's a shoo-in for Anthony Joshua on this one.